In the U.S., stock index futures posted sharp declines ahead of today's open, extended losses from the previous session on Wall Street. On Friday, U.S. stocks finished deep in the red after a stronger-than-expected jobs report sent interest rates higher. Today, earnings and data are set to be at the front of investors' minds. Services Purchasing Managers Index data is due out at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by the non-manufacturing ISM report on business at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. In corporate news, Bristol-Myers, Squibb, Arconic and Cisco are some of the major names to publish their latest financial figures ahead of the open. In the central bank space, former Fed Governor Jerome Powell is to take on the role of chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve, inheriting the position from the first female chair, Janet Yellen. No speeches by members of the U.S. Central Bank are set to take place. And to Asia now, markets fell across board today following a sharp decline in U.S. stocks on Friday on a stronger-than-expected jobs report that sent interest rates higher. In Australia, the ASX 200 fell 95.20 points, with most sectors declining. In Japan, the Nikkei 225 fell 592.45 points, while the Topix index declined 40.46 points. South Korea's Kospi fell 1.33%. Chinese mainland markets traded mixed, with the Shanghai Composite retracing early losses to rise 0.73% in afternoon trade. The Shenzhen Composite fell 0.84%. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index declined 1.09%. And back here in Africa, South Africa's central bank has fined China Construction Bank 75 million rand for non-compliance with the country's Financial Intelligence Act. According to a statement from the central bank, the administrative sanctions were not imposed because CCB was found to have facilitated transactions involving money laundering or the financing of terrorism, but because of weaknesses in the bank's control measures. The regulator said 20 million rand of the fine will be suspended pending the Chinese Construction Bank's compliance with conditions imposed. And still in South Africa, sovereign dollar bonds fell across the curve today, and the cost of ensuring exposure to its debt rose to a one-month high as tensions mounted over President Jacob Zuma's future. Now, the country's ruling African National Congress will hold an urgent meeting today to discuss Zuma's future as head of state after overnight talks with the 75-year-old failed to secure his departure. The 2044 Eurobond issue fell more than 0.5% to 98 cents in the dollar, the lowest level in 7 weeks. Meanwhile, the Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, while speaking on the sideline of the just concluded Davos Economic Summit, said that investors had demonstrated that South Africa was still an important destination for investment.
I think we're going back home filled with a great deal of confidence, the confidence that the international investing community has in us. They have demonstrated that South Africa is still an important destination for investment. All the meetings that we have heard, we've had nothing negative that has been said about our country, and all what we've heard has been encouragement. You're on the right course, keep going, and we applaud you for this new era that has been unleashed in South Africa, and they're wishing us everything of the best. The positive thing about all this state capture process is that, one, we are now going to go to the depths of what corruption has been taking place in our state-owned enterprises. I think that is a huge plus. Two, we've got an independent judge who's going to look at all this. And three, this process will go along in tandem with the process that needs to be followed through by the criminal justice system of identifying those who have committed wrong and making sure that they are brought to book.
And in Botswana, the economy is projected to expand at a faster pace this year compared to last year as the mining sector benefits from a recovery in the global economy. Presenting the 2018 budget to Parliament today, the Finance Minister Kenneth Matambo says GDP growth was projected at 5.3% in 2018 from an estimated 4.7% expansion in 2017. Matambo says Botswana's budget deficit was projected to widen to 3.59 billion pula, or 1.8% of GDP in the 2018-2019 fiscal year, from an estimated deficit of 2.42 billion pula, or 1.3% of GDP in the prior year. The country's fiscal year runs from April to March.